Mr. Ryan Crinchlow, Chairman, Caribbean Plant Health Directors Forum. Mrs. Yasmin Johnson, Director of Plant Health, the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority. Dr. Janet Lawrence, Consultant with the Agricultural Health and Food Safety of AICA. Dr. Vuju Lopez, Plant Protection Officer, Sub-Regional Office of the Caribbean Food and Agricultural Organization. Mr. Brandon Reardon, Assistant Director, Plant Protection Quarantine, Pre-Clearance and Offshore Program with the United States Department of Agriculture and Plant Health Inspection Services. Dr. Richard Blair, Deputy Program Manager, Agricultural Development, CARICOM Secretariat. Mrs. Bridget Hepburn, Acting Undersecretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, senior government officials, staff, senior staff members of the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let me again welcome you to the Bahamas and say good morning.
Good morning.
It gives me great pleasure to extend to you all a very warm welcome on behalf of the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources and the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, as well as Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority, and to say how honored we are to have you accept the invitation to have us accept the invitation to host the 12th Forum for Plant Health, Caribbean Plant Health Directors here in the Bahamas. Now, the archipelagical nature of our islands, 700 islands, 2,400 keys, 30 of which are inhabited, gives rise to specific challenges as it relates to sanitary and phytosanitary measures and issues. While it does present some natural geographical advantages, the country also makes protection of human health from invasive species and plants and animals a daunting task as well. In the Bahamas, agriculture accounts for only 2.3% of the country's gross domestic product, with approximately 90 to 95% of food and other goods being imports. Efforts, however, are being made by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources to improve the conditions for agricultural production so as to improve food security, create new job opportunities, and mitigate the approximately $1 billion worth of food import bills that we amass as a country. These efforts are happening through a series of very diverse initiatives at the Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Science Institute, also known as BAHFSA, and in many of our family of islands. In all of these agricultural ventures, there is a recognition that healthy plants are the foundation of all life. We recognize that plants, one, form the building blocks for ecosystems. We recognize, two, it makes food security possible, and three, it diversifies the economy. The adverse side of maintaining these foundations of all life is that they, for the most part, attract pests and diseases that damage crops, increase the cost of production, and reduce the availability of food in the system. Added to that, the increasing volume and speed of plant movement through trade and imports, residents and visitors who come or return to our shores, or stresses such as those caused by climate and land use changes, plants are under greater attack than ever before, especially when exotic pests are introduced to and become established in our countries. Locally, in an effort to tackle these threats and raise public awareness, the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority was established by a compendium of acts in 2016. This agency was established to serve as the regulatory agency with oversight of matters in the country related to food, animal, and plant health and safety. In 2018, a team of directors began to implement the authority's mandate to ensure that there is an efficient, effective, transparent, and coordinated administration of these matters and a harmonization of all efforts among public sector agencies with shared responsibility for sanitary and phytosanitary measures. Under the Plant Protection Act of 2016, BAHFSA is also charged with advising and ensuring that, along with cooperating agencies, there is proper coordination, proper implementation, and proper establishment of an early detection system with effective response capabilities to the emergence of new pests and diseases and eradication measures. 2, a standardized identification of risk pathways and high-risk pathways. 3, pre-border, border, and post-border measures to prevent pests and disease from entering the country, and diagnostic services to detect and identify the presence and spread of pests and diseases. In one coordinating effort, we have established a partnership with the United States Department of Agriculture and their Don't Pack a Pest program, which is slated to be launched very soon. And now, while these new initiatives are a response to the global rise in plant health issues, they are also our response to solutions, per se, that may be outdated or misused. So globally, there is an increasing concern over the amount of pesticides residue found in food, as well as concerns related to pesticide pollutions of aquifers, rivers, and oceans. And whereas one solution to this issue rests in the reduction of pesticides in agricultural production, the downside is that as a result of the increasing agricultural demand of exponentially growing populations, the need for agrochemicals in meeting this demand also increases. What we are finding is that despite the benefits of some pesticides, the high toxicity and persistent environment of others endangers the ecological balance. The challenge, therefore, moving forward is to respond with new solutions to ensure the safe and responsible use of pesticides in agricultural production. Clearly, the better solutions that are devised must take to heart the FAO's International Code of Conduct on Pesticide Management that says governments have the overall responsibility for regulating the availability, distribution, and use of pesticides in their country and should ensure the allocation of adequate resources for this mandate. Based on strategies that promote increased participation of farmers, extension agents, on-farm researchers, communities, and relevant entities from the public health sectors, efforts must be made to develop and promote the use of integrated pest management and integrated vector management systems. In this vein, BAHFSA has a commitment to the development of a national pesticide management policy that will benefit farmers and local consumers, comply with international regulations, protect the natural resources throughout the country, and allow the sustainability and the sustainable growth of the agricultural sector aimed at contributing to food security. In fact, our team of executives recently participated in training in the use and management of pesticides at BAMSI. We thank them for that opportunity. BAHFSA has also collaborated with the Center for Agricultural Bioscience International CABI in introducing PetSmart and PlantWise to the Bahamas. BAHFSA and the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources also pleased to participate in the 13th session on the Commission of Phytosanitary Measures. And as BAHFSA continues to develop its regulatory, surveillance, inspection, and diagnostic capacities, our efforts to engage the public through seminars, hands-on workshops, training and certification opportunities will likewise be expanded. Yet, with the threats of pests and disease such as red palm mite, lethal yellowing, Mediterranean fruit flies, fusarium wilt of bananas and plantains, tropical race 4, TR4, that can significantly impact our agriculture and food supplies. We must ensure that our plant health system is flexible, that it's dynamic, and constantly evolving to keep pace with changing threats, because pests and diseases do not recognize national boundaries. It is therefore important that any responses are coordinated. Our governments alone cannot tackle threats to plant health. We must ensure that all plant health stakeholders are aware of the risks and are acting on their responsibilities to minimize those risks. Recognizing the importance of close collaboration and for strengthening biosecurity, we must also continue to work closely with our regional and international partners and organizations, governments and non-governmental organizations, and as well as the public, so that we can all contribute to protecting plant health. Now, I am delighted that during this 12th forum you will all have the time needed to devise strategies that will strengthen regional cooperation and boost resilience, and as well as viability as it relates to plant health, while placing greater emphasis on technical and emerging issues that will benefit current plant health systems. These opportunities to meet and discuss matters of mutual interest are quite invaluable. So thank you once again for making the Bahamas the place where the new and innovative ideas for plant health will be birthed. As I close, I must say that while here in the Bahamas, you will enjoy the tastiest of food, you will hear the greatest of music, and meet the warmest and friendliest of people. And as much as you immerse yourself in the work of your profession, I invite you and ask that you also immerse yourself in the culture of the Bahamas and have a true Bahamian experience. Once again, I welcome you very warmly to our country and wish you a very fruitful deliberation as we continue to safeguard our plant resources through regional collaboration. Again, thank you very much. Enjoy your forum and have a wonderful week in the Bahamas. Thank you.